Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sports Talk from the Crib. I'm your host, Tanner Christian. And coming up on today's episode, we're getting into the Dame Lillard trade, the three-team trade. It has finally happened, but not to the destination we all thought. Milwaukee has traded Dame Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Phoenix Suns were included in that trade as well. So we'll get into all the details about that. Thursday night football recap. And some segment now that we're going to introduce to the show. What were you thinking in regards to every week's NFL action? We're also going to get into the marquee matchup. Week 4 of this week. This will be Dolphins at the Bills. That's going to be our marquee matchup heading into week 4. So remember here now, if you're new episodes are airing every Tuesday and Friday. We do a 2-minute drill every Tuesday regarding every week's action in the NFL. So be sure to check us out. And website is sportstalkfromthecrib.com. You stream the podcast there. It's available on all streaming platforms as well. And be sure to check out some of the articles I write on there too. Make sure to follow us on social media at Philly Heat Entertainment. It's Philly Heat ENT. We're on X. I almost said Twitter again, but YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So go follow us and subscribe on there. All right, let's hop into this first topic. Is about Dame time. Dame you. This is the big title of the episode, so we're going to talk a lot about it. Dame you, Lillard. Dame you. Because traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, not the Miami Heat. I was so hopeful it would happen. I was getting ready to, because the talks were really, seemed like they were heating up, but Dame Lillard will be traded soon. But it wasn't to Milwaukee. He was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll get into all the details. Here's all the players and picks involved. Of course, the Bucks get Dame Lillard. The Blazers are going to get center DeAndre Ayton, forward Toumani Camara, point guard Drew Holiday, 2028 unprotected swap rights, 2029 unprotected first-round pick, 2030 unprotected swap rights. The Suns are going to get shooting guard Grayson Allen, shooting guard Keon Johnson, small forward Nazir Little, and center Jusuf Nurkic from the came over from the Blazers. So the Blazers are ready to offload that contract from Nurkic. They inherit Drew Holidays. They're looking to trade him for multiple picks as well as to do another part 2 to this trade. So there's a lot of picks, a lot of player movement. Who really moves out of this? But let's just keep it with the Bucks. Dame Lillard with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Are you kidding me? How is that going to be fair? Dame averaged 32 last year before he, was injured for the most part of it. But him with Giannis? Are you kidding me? This is just not fair. Giannis averaged, what did he average last year? 31 and 11. You got that with Dame. Got 2 30-point scores. On Dame's not going to average 32 again. I don't believe so. I mean, maybe. But this is an insane deal. And a lot of people are like, oh, some of the experts, oh, Drew Holiday, you're losing a lot of defense. Grayson Allen. There were some little pieces that Milwaukee had that they're getting rid of, but you're adding Damian Lillard. Yes, I know he's going to be 30. He's 33 years old now. $200 million left on the contract. You're going to be paying him an excess of over $60 million a year here coming up. But whatever it is to keep Giannis in Milwaukee, keep him happy, because he recently came on and was like, oh, I'll stay as long as we're trying to improve and build a championship team. Well, look what happened just a couple of weeks later. Giannis, you get Dame Lillard, one of the best point guards in the league. You lose Drew Holiday. You lose Grayson now. That's not a big deal whatsoever. Let's get into what the Blazers got in return. I thought the Miami Heat package was more because it came out saying they're offering Tyler Hero, multiple first-round picks, a few other people, maybe Duncan Robinson or Jokic from them. There's this, seemed like there was so much more. Phoenix was willing to take on Kyle Lowry as part of that too from Miami. So for some reason, it didn't work out. Blazers never really wanted to do business with the Miami Heat. Let's just put that there. They never did. Miami wanted to. They never did. They did not want to honor Dame's wishes to go play in Miami. We'll get you out of here, but on our own circumstances. And this is the deal they had. I think it was kind of a weak deal, honestly, for the Blazers. But they can flip Drew Holiday for more multiple picks, then it's going to be looking a little bit better. But in all, what a damn deal. And I think the Suns made out good with this too, because they add a lot of quality depth. They get rid of DeAndre Ayton, who was needed to get out of Phoenix. He really hasn't panned out being the number 1 overall pick a few years back. Is welcoming to being like soft in the playoffs in some games. Just didn't really say, let's be a good change of scenery for him to get his career back on the right track, because his contract runs through 2026. And I think last year he was really hoping that the Suns would not honor the Pacers offer sheet for him, and they did. So he's trying to get out of Phoenix once, but now he's officially out. So it'd be good to see him resurrect his career a little bit. And they had so much depth. Grayson Allen's a great bench piece. Nazir Little will be a great bench piece. Nurkic, I guess, maybe will start. Keon Johnson, I don't know if he will stay. Maybe they'll waive him. I'm not sure on that, but I think the Suns made out pretty good well by adding some bench, which they desperately need, because everybody's on minimum contracts after the trade with Bradley Beal, and now you had all that depth. Good for them, but it's all about the Bucks. You got Dame. You're going to have Chris Middleton back healthy. You still got Brook Lopez. You got Bobby Portis. Like, you still got a pretty decent crew there. You still got Connaughton on the bench. Jay Crowder will play a bigger role, I would think, this year for him. This simply is insane. They may have to change that commentary in the new 2K, because they're all about him going to Miami. And now you're going to have him in a Milwaukee uniform. It's pretty damn crazy to think about what these teams are doing and making it work. And they're definitely going to be the favorites now. That's the next question. Are the Bucks the favorites? Oh, yeah. They're probably one of the favorites despite this trade. Now you add Dame. It's Dame time in Milwaukee. You get as... When has everybody ever gone to Milwaukee in a trade, in a free agent signing that was this household of a name? Never. This is huge. This is huge for the NBA, honestly. Yes, I would love them in Miami with Jimmy Butler and Bam. Miami would be a favorite. Number 1. But now, kiss it goodbye. There's no excuse. So we already write it off, Bucks, Suns, and the NBA championship next year. These other teams are going to be really scrambling to try to add a talent to help them compete with the size of this roster here. It's incredible. And they're automatically number 1 contention for the chip next year, especially number 1 in Eastern Conference. Yes, Boston made moves, but you got Marcus Smart went. But are you really going to trust Kristaps Porzingis to stay healthy? I don't know. 76ers, what's with the James Harden thing that's going on? You still got Joel Embiid. I think Maxi's going to be really stepping into that big-time role for him. But what do you got? Brooklyn? Nothing. Like, there's nobody else out east. There's just nobody. They're going to run through this. So now I'm going into... What about the failure of the Miami Heat? Pat Riley wanted Donovan Mitchell, didn't get him, right? Wanted Bradley Beal, didn't get him. Now we're trying to get Dame, didn't get him. And Pat Riley's been known to go get these type of players to come play there and compete. And the deals just aren't coming through right now. Why? What's going on? Now you're in shambles. Like, could you try to get Drew Holiday? Because you're going to get Dame. That would be a welcome addition in Miami. But they need this. They need a scorer, man. They need someone that can get their own shot. like a closer like that to help take some pressure off of Jimmy. But damn, Jimmy, what are you gonna do, man? That guy plays his heart out. He struggled a little bit in those last finals, but damn, we're gonna really rely on Kyle Lowry at his age through the regular season. This was something that we had, so we're gonna. What happened, Miami? We're gonna really find out if Miami can try to make some kind of move to help them compete for that slot in the East with Milwaukee adding Dame. It's a big slap in the face to Miami, really. The owner just slapped slapping Miami, put it that way. And the other thing that this came out, actually, the rumors keep speculating, rumors keep coming out. Now Dame was willing to rescind his trade request and come back to Portland, but the GM said, sorry, you're going to be on the move. Hey, I'm trying to get in Miami. No. You're going to go to Milwaukee if you want it out of here. Gave him a good option to go play with Giannis. He took it. So, the Blazers, I don't know. I'm not a fan of their management. But anyway, this is a heck of a trade for Milwaukee. Bad news for all us Miami fans. Bad news for the rest of the conference. Heck, bad news for the rest of the NBA to have to deal with Giannis and Dame Lillard on the same damn team. Pick and roll is going to be crazy. There's going to be alley-oops. There's going to be wild shots. And now Milwaukee has a closer in case Giannis doesn't want to shoot free throws at the end of a game. Okay, now let's switch over to the NFL Thursday Night Football between the Lions and the Packers. Lions returning to Lambeau Field, where they knocked the Packers off last year from the playoffs. And they go in there again, and they go in there victorious. They win 34-20 behind David Montgomery, who has been questionable for the game, but actually played, had over 30 carries, 121 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the game. So they pretty much handled it. We were up 27-3 at one point at halftime. So Green Bay really had no shot whatsoever. They tried to make a little bit of a comeback. All of a sudden it was 27-11, but then boom. Lions just pretty much manhandled them on both sides of the ball at the line of scrimmage. Offensive line, defensive line for the Lions played phenomenal. They were just controlling the line of scrimmage throughout the game. And Packers, once again, the first half, just like last week against New Orleans, could not score. But, unlike last week, though, they did come back. They put up 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. This time they put up 11. They tried doing the same thing. They're just taking way too long to get going and letting Jordan Love loose a little bit there. Matt LaFleur. Aaron Jones returned. Christian Watson returned. Used offensive line was out about 3 guys were out. So they were pretty much going into the offensive line situation for the Thursday night game was just bad. We get that. He was under pressure pretty much the whole first half and throughout the game. But why not give Aaron Jones the ball a little bit more? He returned, right? Say he was healthy. Christian Watson. Why not let Jordan Love air it out? You brought him back, have more 3 wide receiver sets, and air it out. I just didn't get the game plan. He had multiple tight end sets, try to run the ball in the middle, like play action, and I didn't really understand the game plan by Green Bay going into the game. When you got your weapons back, Christian Watson, Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Musgrave, unfortunately, he left early with an injury, but that would make more sense to me to run more 3 wide receiver sets, have Aaron Jones in the backfield. Therefore, you get some of those zone runs and the passing game. Let's let loose a little bit more. But let's not discredit the Detroit Lions. They're coming the ball. They improved 3-1 this year. Let that one against Seattle kind of get away from them. But this year, they went into Arrowhead, and they've now gone into Lambeau Field and big-time wins against the Chiefs and Packers on prime time. This team's legit. They're my NFC favorites to really make a Super Bowl run. Call me crazy. But this team plays with a purpose. Their defense is better. Aaron Glenn has really tried to help improve that. Last year they were ranked dead last. They're playing with more swag this year. The rookie Branch from Alabama is playing very well. Aiden Hutchinson coming off the edge is playing very well. made a lot of improvements on that side of the ball. They're flying. Jack Campbell, the linebacker, like they're flying now on defense. And now Jahmyr Gibbs, if he can ever get going in the run game, to spell David Montgomery, because Montgomery's like the short yards guy, the pound for pound back, goal line guy. If Gibbs ends up getting loose, maybe as the season progresses, you're getting Jameson Williams back from the suspension at wideout. Therefore, you got more speed out there. Like, this team could be really dangerous. I try to warn you guys. This team's going to be for real through the season. They're going to probably run away with the NFC North title, win for the first time since, like 93? This Detroit Lions team is going to be this good since those Barry Sanders days. Detroit Lions has never really been, they've been the bottom feeders in that NFC North, and now they're at the top. And with the Vikings being 0-3, the Bears being 0-3, Packers falling again here, like, this is their division to have. It's probably not letting it get away from them. The Lions team is for real. As for the Packers and Jordan Love, he's struggled a little bit the last couple of games, throwing the interceptions. I don't blame him all that. I mean, you're following Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, two quarterbacks that played 15 plus years for the franchise. Those are some huge steps to follow because they're first ballot Hall of Famers. But he hasn't really played that bad to me. It was just to me, it was more bad play calling and coaching when it came to this game. Short week, bringing the guys back. Maybe next week they bounce back because you have a full week of practice with everybody. Maybe everybody starts getting on the same page offensively, but defensively, come on. They got to take a lot of the blame too. And I actually thought when they picked off Jared Goff on that first possession, I'm like, oh man, Green Bay is ready to play today. Only ended up getting a field goal. Bad play calling the first drive. They were set up in their territory in the red zone, and they come away with a field goal. And at this what the show why what the day was going to come, because the Lions came back and went right down the field, scored a touchdown. So this tells you what kind of a night they were going to have to begin with. So we'll see how the coming weeks come up with that. I don't blame Jordan Love. I think he's played well this year. And now he's got all his weapons. I think he's going to be a little more balanced. And he's not terrible. Only think Jordan Love's a bust yet, okay? It's only his first few starts here on the year. All right, now I want to introduce the new segment that's going to be coming to the show. What were you thinking? And it's basically going to do, we're going to maybe incorporate as weeks go on, but it's mainly going to be about the NFL and the what were you thinking moments that happened on Sunday. So we're going to have a little segment. We're going to be a little teaser here, but it's going to be a full-on segment next week in the future episodes here. So the what were you thinking moment, I want to start with, my guy, Chargers head coach Brandon Staley. Like, man, what were you thinking? Going for it inside your own 30, up 4 points with just over 2 minutes to go. You're up 28-24. Analytics. Only analytics said it. Oh, I thought I could get a yard. And you run a fullback dive. Kellen Moore, what were you thinking too in calling that play? When Justin Herbert has over 400 passing yards on the day, he's completed 40 passes, and you call a run play to Joshua Kelly. Eckler is not playing. Joshua Kelly's been averaged like a yard per carry since he's taken over the last couple weeks. 12 carries, 13 yards. You're going to hand it to that guy? What were you thinking? I don't get it. Why? When Brandon Staley got asked that question, I thought we'd get it. 4th and 1. The odds of us getting it, we could just run out the clock. No timeouts, blah, blah, blah. It's way to put your deal. You did it multiple times last year. And you gave games away. Then it's like you gave the wild card game away against the Jaguars when you're up 27-0. Thank goodness you have Kirk Cousins on the other side this time, who likes giving games away too. Oh, they're not 11-1 like last year in one-score games. They're 0-3. They're back to reality, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. So you got lucky, Brandon Staley. You got lucky that your defense bailed him out. Well, actually, Kirk Cousins bailed you out. So what were you thinking? This is going to be happening. I want to really enjoy this segment going forward because it's just scratch your head moments. You're yelling at the TV. You're yelling at your favorite team. It's like when they call like a passing play and it's 3rd and 12 and they throw a little 2-yard out balance. You're like, what are you thinking? What? Please try and go for the first down. Or we're going to add something else. We're going to add another one because I just popped back in my head what happened on Sunday Night Football with Josh McDaniels, the Raiders head coach. 23-15. You're down 8. They kicked the field goal the first time, like 3.5 minutes to go to make it 23-18, but then it took it off because of the penalty. So then the clock runs down more, and he gets stopped at like the 5-yard line. So it's 4th and goal down there, and he kicks the field goal. Josh McDaniels, what were you thinking? Almost forgot all about this one. This one's getting added. Why don't you try and go for the touchdown? You're inside the 5-yard line. If you miss it, they're pinned back. You really think the Steelers and Najee Harris is going to run through you? No. You really think Kenny Pickett's going to probably get that first down there? No. But instead, you kick a field goal, then you kick off, and the Steelers end up getting first downs and running out the clock on you. Because that's all they needed was just one first down. Why not pin them back and get the ball back? If you miss it, you have a better shot actually down 8 than you do 5. What were you thinking? When is he getting fired? That's what I'm wondering. When is Josh McDaniels getting fired? He's still on the sidelines looking like an offensive coordinator. All this is pen and stuff. You haven't done anything since Tom Brady, man. That's the only time you were ever good. You've been an offensive coordinator for over a decade. It's because Tom Brady was your quarterback. You were nothing in Denver. Now you're nothing in Las Vegas. How are you a head coach? That's another story. Okay, let's hop over to our final topic of the day. Week 4's marquee matchup of the week. It's going to be Dolphins at Bills. Not just doing it because I'm a Dolphins fan. This is going to be a great matchup. We expect to be a lot of scoring in this game. Perhaps in Dolphins coming off that 70-point game against Denver. I don't expect 70 points. But it is playing at Buffalo. Miami's lost the last 7 in Buffalo. It's been a tough place for them to play. So we'll see. Injuries going into the game. Jalen Phillips, their outside linebacker, is going to be out. But also the Bills safety, Jordan Poyer, is going to be out. So this is some, big-time injuries to these teams. And Jalen Waddle is going to return. He passed concussion protocol. So Miami gets another weapon and Jalen Waddle back to this week. So that's going to be a little tough for the Bills to cover now with Wesley Poyer out. All that speed out there. Let's get into some of these stats. Like Miami offensively, they're number 1 across the board. Scoring, points, passing, everything. Because of the total yards, because of the numbers they really put up last week really propelled them. Boom, they're first. The Bills are 7th, though. Defensive-wise, Miami has struggled a little bit so far this year. They're ranked 23rd overall. The Bills are ranked 2nd in defense so far. I mean, it helps when they did lose to the Jets. They're 2-1, Dolphins 3-0. The Bills play the Commanders. So they see why their defense may be ranked in the top 5 because you got the Bills and Commanders, or Jets and Commanders on your schedule, especially when Zach Wilson's playing quarterback. It won't be pretty good on defense. But against the rest, they're 14th, pass are 3rd, and their scoring rank is 2nd. So the Bills have so far, NFL teams, I get it. Week to week, you never know what's going to happen. But I think those numbers are a little bit inflated. This year, Tyreek Hill has over 400 receiving yards on the year, and he's ready. Can they slow down this Miami offense? I think they can to maybe an extent. But the Bills have been pretty gassed against the run this year. What is it? They got ranked 14th, and they've averaged over around 5 yards a carry. They're kind of getting gashed. with Mostert and that rookie man, Devon Achane, out of Texas A&M. You got to witness that kid last week. Over 200 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. Can they do it again? I mean, what are you going to do? How are you going to stop the offense? Are you going to try and stop Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? Are you going to try to stop that run game? Because either or, Miami can do both. That's going to be something to watch, really watch in this game. Especially Miami, man. I'm looking forward to it. 3-0. They haven't started 4-0 since 1995. Dan Marino was still our quarterback last time we started the season, 4-0. And this could be very important in the standings, too, because the Bills could follow 2-2 and have 2 losses within the division. Because they lost to the Jets the first week. They survived despite Aaron Rodgers going down over that first series. That's the only win the Jets have. So this could play a big part in the standings, a big part in who's going to run this AFC East going forward. I expect a great game, though. I expect it very competitive. I don't think it's going to be one-sided. I don't think the Bills are going to have enough to stop Miami's offense throughout the game. They maybe get some stops, maybe get some couple 3-and-outs here and there, but I don't see it. See Miami scoring. I see it again in the 30s, maybe possibly the 40s. It'd be interesting to see what how they stop the offense if they can. One thing about the Bills, James Cook, in his first full year as a starter, he's a rookie last year. He's been running the ball pretty well. He's averaging over 100 total yards a game so far. So as long as the Bills can win the game, if they don't get pass happy, like they usually do. Remember that game last year? He threw almost over 60 times in Miami. And Miami won 21-19. Then the playoff game, they lost 34-31. That was with Skylar Thompson was Miami's quarterback. Tua didn't even play. And Mostert didn't play in that game either for Miami. So they're trying to get a little revenge on that. As long as Bills, to me, they have a shot. If they can get after Tua Tagovailoa because nobody else has this year, they got to get through Miami's offensive line and get after Tua, get him under pressure, and try to run the ball on offense. Use James Cook, use Latavius Murray, use Damian Harris, however you guys want to do it, to help control the clock a little bit, keep Miami's offense off the field. That's one way. There's no blueprint to beat Miami this year. Nobody's kind of figured it out. But I think that's one way you could try to utilize it. Try to get the ground pound game. But Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator for Buffalo, he doesn't like to run the ball like that. He wants to put it in Josh Allen's hands, be a little Madden-esque like, and just zing the ball around the field. And that usually leads to turnovers. And if they do that, they will lose this game, and Miami will be winning, and they will have a 2-game to lead up on the division and still undefeated. So that's going to be a marquee matchup. I look forward to it, and I can't freaking wait. Go Fins! All right, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you all for joining me here on Sports Talk from the Crib with your favorite sports host, Tanner Christian. Remember, new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. It's available on all streaming platforms, as well on the website at sportstalkfromthecrib.com. Be sure to follow us on social media. It's at Feel the Heat Entertainment, Feel the Heat ENT, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. So go check us out. Give us a follow and subscribe there. Thank y'all for joining me. Y'all have a fabulous weekend. Catch y'all on Tuesday.